Hello, welcome back to another use trade futures trading stream. Um, 2 minutes before the opening. Today is Friday, January 26th. It's the last day of the week. We have an insight. I hope you have seen part. I hope you have seen, or at least seen part of the morning stream. I wasn't interested in this market, so I just went after I dropped my kids to school. I stay around for breakfast. Um, it's the last day of the week. I guess the most relevant part, or the most relevant thing today is the last day of the week. And we have this insight. This market is just behaving crazy here. Yeah, I suspect this is hard times for short-term traders, momentum traders, especially the ones that just follow price, because the market is having these wild swings. It's just taking. I mean, if you look the trends overall, everything is to the upside. Everything is to the upside. Um, the reaction to the spike, the news. I don't know what the news was. Let's check what the news was. PCE actual 0.2, forecast 0.2. I mean, it was just as forecast. The same. We have nothing. Okay, market is open now. It's another opening inside previous day range. Oh, my charts are not loading. It's taking a while to upload. Nasdaq has already established a downside trend. This will be the third day the Nasdaq is going to the downside. Inside day today. Let's see if this market can take this high out in this period. No, with this said that we have this area. What is that? 17 and 13. This is tremendous volume there. 17 and 13. 17 and what? And 13. Down here. It barely touched this area here, where the most of the volume is from yesterday. It's a red day. Okay, I want to see if this market can take this. The Nasdaq, this is a tale of two markets. Nasdaq is doing something completely different than the ES now. I want to see if the ES can take this high out. You know, that would be a breakout of the inside bar, a breakout to the upside, which is something positive happening in the first period. Oh my God! Look at this, brother. Look at this volume. This is the lowest volume this market has in the last 10 days. This is no good. What I mean no good is I don't mean that the market is going to break, but it's not good for whatever the market is doing right now. Okay, what this market is doing right now, I don't know yet. I don't see any direction here yet. The area of volume of big blocks in the overnight are 21, 22. 21 here, 22 here. Just building. Now the high, this high is really close to this high and really close to this high. You know, guess what do we have up here? There's going to be a bunch of stops that are placed here. The stops from this day also can be up here. So there's a lot of supply here that can help this market to keep to feel a rally here. No, the Nasdaq has something really interesting here. I know this area yesterday was these two areas were high volume yesterday, and it's just selling from that thing. And what most interesting here is this is, you know, when something like this happens, you know, this is high volume, medium volume, zero. That is a sign for a short in my strategy. Now, do I want to be short today, Friday? Just opening while the ES is having this kind of action? No, I don't. Oh, look at that. Look at what the ES is doing as well. Huh. They both are doing the same. No, I don't like the short here. I really don't like it. It's kind of risky. Usually this would call for a short here, right? Right now. Maybe, how many points? 23, that's 3 points or 4 points stop. Maybe the stop just kind of like 2 ticks before this high here. But I just don't like it because this high here, because all these three highs are kind of like together. Now, when I see something like this, I say this is, you know, this is a sign for sure, right? I'm not going to say, oh, I wish I had take that shot. No, it just don't. No, once you make a decision, there's no regrets in that. You know, accept it and move on. You know, on to the next one. Now, what I see here is a market imbalance, right? Market imbalance and the market opening in the upper side of yesterday's range and trading basically in the upper side of this range. It's very, my man, I just, man, I just didn't have the guts to short here. I thought there was, you know, there was too much of a risk here. Now, don't forget the bigger picture, okay? This is a 2-day range that has built just above another 2-day range, which has a non-excess low, which low is weak and poor. At the same time, the upper side of this 2-day range has no excess and high. Many times, most of the times, traders are just so anxious to trade. You know, they're placing shorts, placing longs, placing shorts, placing longs, placing all the time. You know, they're being stopped out, small gains, bigger losses, all the time, and that's what kills. Right? Once you start, once you learn, and unfortunately, this cannot be teach. You have to learn it. It's how to be patient. I remember the times when I started to train. I used to have an oximeter because I was so anxious, man. Um, my heart rate just jump. Usually I am somewhere between 60, 65. And when I started to trade, oh boy, it went, it when I thought I saw some kind of action or some kind of opportunity, my heart rate just went all the way up to 110, 120. That was just crazy. Let's see how much do I have now, because I still have this oximeter, and I got this when COVID. Um, wow, it is high right now. It is 80. Hmm. For disclosure, I had a cup of coffee just like 10, 15 minutes ago. No, 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 no. Like, yeah, like 30 minutes ago. Maybe that can be the 76 now. All right. And I had this. It was, um, and I can almost feel the blood, my heart pumping blood in my brain. I can feel the blood flowing through my neck veins. That was how, just 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 so you can have an idea how anxious I was. Being like that is not good. The odds of success trying to trade or trading under those conditions are really low. Had to be in calm. I also had to go through a lot of therapy because I just had some issues in my life that I didn't know I had. You know, um, and that's the thing of trading. Trading just shows um, make you realize how uh, deeply uh, what's the word, faulted, you know flawed we are, or I was, or I am still. There's a lot of things I had to deal with. And that's very important because if we are not in the right state of mind, it is going to be really hard. We cannot just separate. Um, I thought I could. because I remember when my other job was remodeling, I work in construction. I learned also the hard way in that job that I couldn't take my family or my relationship problems out of the house. Because when that happened, where I have some problems with the wife or something, discussions with the wife, I left for work. Uh, I ended up, hitting my head multiple times, or hitting you know, my my fingers with a hammer, or getting shocked or whatever. I quickly realized, that I realized what was happening. I learned, to leave whatever problems you have, leave it at home. You cannot fix the problems when you are outside at work. It's going to affect my work, and that's how I deal with that. But trading is different. Trading, you cannot leave that behind. It stays with you. Because all those things are psychological, are in your brain and in your head. And this job, trading, is you, is me in the market. The market has nothing to do here. It is me. It is me who plays a trade. It is me who go take a long position, who take a short. It is me who has to close a position when it's not working, or I had to figure out when to take profits, for example, right? And I cannot have those things in my mind, in the background, and always there. I thought I could deal. I could stop. I thought I could stop thinking about my problems with the wife or the kids or whatever, and just start doing a trade and deal with those after the session is over. But again, learn the hard way that's not possible. I just had to address those things, fix those things, or do something about those things, and then after that, I can trade. You know. It was alone. I didn't know. I'm being honest here. I didn't know how big my issues were. Some of them taken have taken more than 2 years or so, just to face it and find out. Some of them were really hard. I have just dealt with one of those a couple weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I guess that was the biggest one I had, because it has to deal with family, and but there are certain things that you just have to do it if you want to survive here. You have to address. You just cannot leave it there. All right. And after that, I think the major things are kind of like getting addressed, right? So I can focus more on trade, and that also gives you some confidence, right? You don't have the baggage. You have to be very clean when you come to the trading desk. You have to be well rested, feeded, relaxed when you are here. How many trades, for example, do you have now? Have you been long? Have you been short? How many profits? How many times have you taken profits? How many times have you let the market run against you and close, and just to see the market go in your direction? Those are the things that we have to deal with here. That's the anxiety here. I really want to be long. I'm going to miss this movement. Yesterday the market sold right from the open. Today is going to do the same. All those things keep. Not if any, one of the things that I can say, for example, if you remember what happened yesterday, think about that. Think about how that is affecting you, and also how that is affecting another traders, what other traders can be thinking as well, because this is what that's what trading is about. No, it doesn't matter that I have a negative view of the market. You know, I don't like this, for example. Well, I thought yesterday the market has the potential to come over here. No, but the trend remains intact in the ES. Nasdaq is quite different, right? Nasdaq, this is the second day. This is the second day. The Nasdaq has kind of like is doing a trend to the downside. Remember what we talked about Nasdaq. That Nasdaq looks like the weakest of all markets. You have Russell, Dow, the ES, and Nasdaq. Nasdaq is the weakest. You know, it is impressive how many gaps that market has in such a short period of time. The ES also has 7 gaps, but are kind of more spread right in time. The Nasdaq is kind of like just back at one gap after another one after another. All right. Now, there's supply here. I want to see what the market does here. If we trace through this or stop shorts at the center here, you know, trading is a flow. It's a constant flow of position getting in, getting out, people getting short, people getting long. You know, it's constant. I thought when I start doing this, for example, that okay, if the market, for example, what can I say about this? Okay, I guess yesterday, this was held back, I think, or Nasdaq has something like that, held back of overnight. You know, the market is going to this is not going to stay. This is a short. But it doesn't have to happen right away. You know, the market doesn't care about what you think, right? Because the market is not an entity. It's not a one belief. It's not one big company trading or doing positions there. There are millions of beliefs here, right? People, traders that believe the market is going to make a new highs. Traders that believe, that are convinced that the market is going to break, you know. And in between those, we have medium time frame traders, you know, that believe the same, but the time frame is longer. Investment money that never sells, you know, and all of those things, you know, and for one day, for one period to be the same as the previous, you know, for one day, even for one period to be the same as the previous one, or to trade one period under the same assumptions that the previous period or the previous day, you know, can you see how unbelievable low the odds are that it's going to be the same? Every single participant in this market, every single participant here, for example, you are going to talk about the daily, or if you are going to talk about the intraday, every single participant in this period have to be the same that the previous period, believing the same in the previous period, doing the same that in the previous period. Can you see? And this is a constant flow of information. I trade the same as you, same as momentum traders. I am short in the market, I am long in the market in the same day, sometimes even in the same period. All right? But when you start to have the background at all times in your mind, you know, all the information, what the market is doing in the other time frames in the background, what's happening here, for example, what's happening in the volume, what happened what happened yesterday here relative to the overnight, to this overnight, to this over. There's a lot of information here. Now look at the volume here, for example. What the market is doing, what's trying to do, going higher. Low volume, okay? But are the also that happen. Now we have lower volume to the downside. And it is to the upside, it is to the downside. What it is, I don't see anything here, for example. Right? I don't see anything. There was taper here. Remember how red this area was? Now, time has passed. We have accumulation of value down here. Now, where is value now? Can you see the blue area here? It's overlapping this blue area here. This is just the first period. Okay, this is just the first period. When we start to have all this information, I know there's a lot of information we deal with, but it will be, if I want to, I want to make an analogy here. I will take driving, okay, because that's what most people do. When you drive, you just don't see over the hood. Believe it or not, you have a lot of flow of information that's flowing, through your ears and eyes that are in the background. That's constantly feeding you. You see the cars that are in front of you. Consciously, you are not watching this, who is beside you on the left, on the right. You're not watching the rear view mirrors or the rear view mirror or the side mirrors. You're not watching that, but you're aware of what's happening there. There's a sign, half mile. You can see it. You cannot read the sign, but you will see a sign half mile away. And consciously, you are not processing that. That happens in the subconscious. And when you got to that level, is when you can say, okay, I am getting better at driving, right? Because you are not reacting anymore. You are managing that information and kind of like preparing, driving. Okay, the traffic has slowed. You can see that there's a backlog. There can be a traffic being stopped 1 mile away. So you start to slow down, for example. You don't wait until the car in front of you. I think you see the car in front of you. You wait. You start making way before. When the traffic is fast, you kind of like speed up as well, to be in sync with the traffic, because being slow, driving slow, is not necessarily safe. If the rest of the traffic is going faster, it can be dangerous. All that information, is constantly flowing. Your brain's analyzing all that information, and the same thing happens in trading. All this information, this one. Also, you may have this one. You got ES, Nasdaq, Russell, Dow. Yeah. You may have. Okay. What's happening with bonds, for example? Huh? What's happening with bonds here? Well, this can be starting a trend to the downside, which is, I don't think this is good. This can be. It's nothing yet has happened, but it comes back down to here. Okay, something may be happening here. All right. What's happening with crude oil? Okay, crude oil is having a rally. What can happen here? The economy. What can happen here, for example? Right? People is not going to like this thing, because gasoline is going to start. Little things like that. Now, what do we have, for example, next week? What do we have next week? And, when I realized about this thing, this thing. What is with this? I kind of like all of these movements kind of like make sense. Look what we have next week. Uh, I don't remember if there was ever, I don't remember last time we had this kind of earnings, you know, just all them, all these three together one day, and all these two together. I don't see Nvidia here, for example. Huh? Um, no, because what was the tendency is one is one day, maybe two this 1 week or three, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, something like that, and then you got another. But having this one like this, there's a lot of things that are going on here. And when we have that information in mind, in the background all the times, it kind of is I wouldn't wanna use the expression that kind of like makes sense, but you can trade better, right? When you no longer have to make any effort to remember those things and are in the background at all times, that's when you start to improve. That's when you start to stop watching the just price, because most traders, what they do is just watch price. Price here. What the market is doing is going lower. Okay, this is a short market. This is a market to the downside. Price is going higher. This is a market to the upside. I have to be long. I have to be short. But they forget that these things under the same action under different circumstances can have complete different meanings. Right? Can have completely different meanings. But traders don't care. Most traders don't care about that. Alright, spill time. Monday, Tuesday, Friday. I apologize. Now, how mechanical is this trading? Give me a second, please. Alright. Now, now that traders have seen this market breaking and making a V-shaped recovery in yesterday, and witnessing the same thing in the overnight, just think about that. How hesitant they will be to go short here, for example. Right? It just makes you second guess yourself, right? Look at this. Look at this here. There was nothing here. Most people now have forgotten what happened, at 8:30. We got this movement here. Let's not talk about what happened yesterday, last night. Then we have a spike in the upside yesterday. And all value was inside the spike, inside and above the spike. a little bit about spike, you know. This kind of situation for me is the hardest, you know. And something that I noticed yesterday is that we have a very prominent overnight POC, and this was just traded once. Boom, only once. Boy, this volume is super low here. How much is this? Like 20% lower? 21% low. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. Relative to the previous day. I thought yesterday that I thought the market was setting up for today's number. Didn't happen. Nothing happened. Now I'm wondering if this is a setup. You know, market is preparing for Thursday, next Thursday. You know, when we have, remember, we have Apple, Google, and Amazon, all three together. Okay? And also, can be Tuesday, because Microsoft and Alphabet on Tuesday. I want to see what ES does. Can ES move value lower? Can this day end below this value? I mean, can value be below? The market made an attempt to take this high. There was, it just didn't have it. Yesterday, one of my thoughts was, you know, this market just don't have it to the upside, you know. And I thought that when the market was kind of like in this area here, in KL, in this area, it just doesn't have it. After, of course, just after you say that, you know, because the market going higher, higher, higher here. But I didn't, that didn't change my opinion. It just doesn't have it. Now, what is happening today is something completely different than what happened here. Now, there was quite, the volume here was really high relative to the previous day. Now it's very low. Can you see how low is relative to this day? The lowest volume in the past 10 days. Now, when markets have this kind of volume, they are easy to move as well. Some bigger traders, there are traders that have the power to move markets. It's going to be very easy. I mean, not very easy, but easier. This everybody was watching here. This kind of action here is what stopped me to doing something something here, you know. Because yesterday in Nasdaq, what I was watching Nasdaq, I had these two areas, and there was significant activity in these two areas, this one and this one, and I had these areas from yesterday. I did try to do something here yesterday. I guess I went long somewhere in here and placed my stop in this area. And when the market, uh, you know, finally went in my direction, I moved my stop to break even a little bit, little tiny profits, basically break even. Of course, the market came back, took my stops out, and and then cried. But I wasn't willing. I wasn't willing to give this market too much room yesterday. I saw the potential to the downside being as huge, coming back inside this 2-day range. Um, I guess I was. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stick to my strategy. If my strategy says something, do what my strategy says. Who builds my strategy? I did that. You should do the same. We all trade the same market. We all have different views, different motivations, different education. Maybe. Now I don't like this low here. Okay, man, this market is terrible. Terrible meaning that the information in the upper side and the information in the lower side is just as contradicting the weak flow on both sides. I don't know what I was talking about. Oh, the strategies, right? You have to build your own strategy. Um, I I realized, for example, um, Jim Dalton was my mentor. I tried to do what he was doing, and of course it didn't work. But with time, when I started doing my own strategy, I started to, and it really is mine. Guess what? At the end, you know, I ended up being or doing the same thing that he does. But now it's not his anymore. Right? Now I'm not following him, even though I'm doing exactly the same thing. Now it's mine. That's when you that's the thing that we as a trader, I believe, in my humble opinion, we need to achieve. And unfortunately, the only way to doing that is by trial and error. You can do that. Um, Maybe you can use some of these prop films. To not risk your own money. When you do that, the risk is lower. Basically, paper. It is paper trading. But the fact that you have to pay a fee there put some of the emotions there, and that's what we need. Uh, that's what we need. I do have Apex. I use Apex. If you wanna, I guess they have an offer now. I don't wanna. They have an offer like 80% discount. I like Apex over top step. I have nothing against top step. But if you wanna use, I have a coupon here. You can use this code in Apex for 80% discount. But you can also do it. This gives me a small. They give you a small commissions, really small. But you don't have to use that. You have it by free. You can use the coupon that the website has. Um, and you will put some money there, all right? Some maybe 50 or $100, per month to have your account there. And if you are good, they will fund your account. But it won't risk, just imagine having an account in one broker with 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 20,000. In one bad day, it can go to zero. And the thing here is, as I say, unfortunately, there's no other way to learn. We make adjustments. When you start building your strategy, you have to write down what you want to do, and you also have to write your rules and try to make as simple as possible. I have a rules, for example, one set of rules are simple rules. One of those is, if I'm tired, I don't trade. Okay? If I am emotionally drained or involved in something else, I don't trade. As simple as that. Okay? Another one is, if you see a setup, if you see your setup, even though I don't like that word or that expression, but when you build your strategy, you will write what do you need to see to go long or to go short, and what the market needs to do in order to keep that position open or close it. Once you have that, write it down, follow it, stick to it. That's what I mean when I say, when I see my setup, just take it. Okay. My setup, for example, is not just seeing this taper here that we have in this period here, for example, right? It is not just that, or the taper that we have here in the first period. It's not just that. That's one of the key elements of my strategy. All right. It is one thing having this kind of taper at the open. It is one different thing, a completely different scenario, having that in the middle of the season or the session. And when I trade, I don't. My trades usually are not at the opening, because the market is just, there's a lot of orders the market has to deal with at the open. I'm not that kind of trader. I tried that. I failed miserably. And that's what most traders do. Few are successful. Tom Hugard is one of those. If you like him, he has a website, for example, right? Maybe you have no. I didn't know that he was popular. He has a book that's called that's named "The Best Loser Wins." It is impressive how Google is. When you start to realize, I was starting to, this business is about losing, but how counterintuitive that is, right? Because now nobody. Wait a minute. We don't like to lose, we are humans. We don't like to lose. We don't like to be wrong. And that's just basic, right? That's engraved to our brains. How long have we been in these modern times when it doesn't matter if you lose, you are okay. For example, right, in life, before just 300, 4 years ago, if you lose, could mean that you're dead, that your family is dead. Let's not talk about 1,000 years ago, because we come from, our species have Hama. There are records from over 250,000, 300 years. Just imagine what happened. What can happen if you lose? Right? Nobody likes to lose. Losing is associated, in life. It can mean the death. So it's part of our instinct, our basic instincts. Survival. We had to survive. We had to live, and all those things, all other things that we have to deal with. Now, what I see, for example, here is, in this stream, I have noticed something. Traders come and go, come and go. When it's not on my interest to do this as a business, to do streaming as a business. But I started doing this to have some form of accountability, And something I noticed, for example, when there is these big days that the market is breaking hard, or market is rallying, having a hard or significant rally, that's when viewers come. And just to be successful, by being present, just by being present. How many times have you heard that? Just by being present, you have made, or you are doing more than what most of the people is doing. People come to the market when there's these huge movements, right? And what about the other ones? What about the intradays? What happened during the day? There is a tendency, this is this false belief that trading is easy, that you can come to this business for 5 minutes, 30 minutes, and make 200, 500 bucks. And there is this thinking. Okay? Just think about this. There's this thinking. I don't want to do $1,000. I just want to make 50. I just want to make 100. I just want to make 200. No, not 2,000. And it is expression, but it has a lot of. The background is just. It makes me remember. I have this friend who is. I don't know if I have lost contact. He was a physical bodybuilder. He was a bodybuilder, and he said when he was doing his workout, and he just the new people that comes to the gym, right? These gyms have these posters all the time with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Gary Coleman, all these great athletes, posters on the wall, right? And they will look at those pictures and say, yeah, I don't want to be like that, right? I don't want to be like that. I just want. And there was some, those were the top of the top, right? And also there were pictures of another locals, maybe nationals or locals to the gym, from the gym. I don't want to be like Arnold, for example. And they point at the other picture. I want to be like this guy, right? Just like this one, or like just like this one, right? It can be funny, right? But he was upset when when he talked about that. He was really upset. Well, this they don't realize, right? People just don't realize how hard it is to be in that shape. Not all of the effort you have to put into that, or the commitment that you need to, you know, that you need to have. And on top of that, I sometimes if you don't have what is needed physically, doesn't matter how much hard you try, you won't be able to do it. Arnold has this shape, you know, his core that was perfect for bodybuilding. But somebody who has I guess I am one of those cases that have the lower part of my body is I still have that thinking. It was kind of like wider than the upper part. It's going to be really hard, really hard. If you don't have a wide back or wide skeleton at the top, you know, it's going to be, you don't have that triangle shape, which helps, right? From the beginning, it helps. The same thing goes in training too. It is not just I just need $200 a day. It is not just, it requires a tremendous amount of effort to do that. And the false, that is just false expectations. You know, we have to meet, we have to, if I don't have enough time to be in this market, and traders don't want to hear this. You know, people say, no, this is crazy. This guy is crazy. I saw some YouTuber doing $10,000 in 1 minute, right? Driving these Ferraris by day trading. And they believe that. And they don't like to hear what people like me says or talk. That this is a freaking hard, ultra competitive business. That's what it is. And if you have only 30 minutes or 2 hours a day available for being in this market, you can do it as well. But your approach has to be different as well. Your homework is really important. You know, your time frame is really important in that case. Now, the market took this area of volume, traded below, but it did not have acceptance. It did not have downside continuation. Really close to POC. Value, now we have 2 periods. The directions to the downside, remember the major big time frames are to the upside. Do you think that there is a lot of chop here in this market? You know, just for being at this high, they're really close to make new highs here. There is some, I guess even think of swim can have, you can have market profile, a volume profile and think of swim. You will see these areas. I don't know if you can have it. You can separate the days. You know, regular trading hours, right? From 9:30 to 4 p.m. But if I have something here, for example, if I have something to the downside, the market needs to go through this thing, right? what I see, if this market keeps takes this high out and start trending higher, I will see, I will carry this information as volume being accumulated in this area here. I don't know what is happening, what is going to happen. I just see the market going, they're having a lot of chop today. Now, if the market it is take this high, the next thing I will see is if this period closes above this high. That will give us an outside bar to the upside, which is also an important piece of information here. In the for the intraday session. Okay? That will be a sign of strength. More value is being allocated or is being positioned inside yesterday's overnight spike. Remember the spike from to the upside yesterday? That's the spike I'm talking about. Nasdaq seems like it's going to have an outside bar, but since 2 days ago, this has been a tale of two markets here. This is Nasdaq and ES have been completely different. I don't like this volume here, man. I really don't like this, man. Some of the things that happen, I remember, for example, is this kind of volume, this market can rally, can grind its way to the upside. Really bad trading day to the upside, but really horrendous tempo and stuff like that. And can close at a very, very high. You can start a trend here and close at a very, very high. It's a really hard day. Can be a really hard day to trade. This, if you don't have market profile, this is something that I got from, I guess this is Tradobait. This is bid and ask. This is bid and ask. I don't care about the numbers, but just the shape of these histograms look an awful lot just like I got to come back to that in just a moment, please. Just look at, okay, let's do it now. An awful lot like the volume profile. As I say, I don't care about the numbers, how big or not. What I care is about how many contracts are in, not how many bids were or how many asks were. But can you see the shape of this histogram here? It widens here and it's cut flat. There's a lot of weight here. Look at this. This is the ES. This is the ES, and this I believe is Nasdaq. Yes, sir. This is Nasdaq. Okay, this is the ES. Look at the shape. Right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. No, my bad. 2. Only 2. My bad. This is 1 and 2. Look at the taper here, tremendous amount of volume relative to this one here. Right? Taper, big volume here, and look at what happened here. Look at how this ends, right? Look how this ends. This kind of like a rectangle, untapered end here was closed here. It didn't have something like this, right? What I see in these histograms here, in my window traded, is something like this, But since this is bid and ask, you kind of like do the same thing on the other side. You can cut this one in half or just watch at both. But the information that this delivers, Nasdaq. Look at what happened here, for example. Look what happened here. All right. Okay. Now there is a breakout here. Is a breakout of this inside bar. This wasn't an outside bar. Rotation. You know, we have a break, follow. In the one time frame has ended really early. I don't think he even was established. Again, we're having taper on the upper side. This is just. I remember this the overnight is awful. Was an awful. It's an awful long here. Very long. Oh, for disclosure, I don't have my put on SPY. I closed it yesterday. I closed it yesterday. When the market, I guess the market was down here is when I closed it. Let's see. You know, there are those options are unchanged. Are they unchanged? No, they're at a loss now, but not that much, man. Not that much. I think that's the risk that I guess I guess the how much is the peaks, by the way? Let's see how much is this peaks. Don't tell me it's 14, man. Oh, that would be crazy. God, it's 13. What? Gosh, it's just 13. So there's tremendous amount of risk in this market, and that risk is not being reflected for the peaks. What I mean by that is that there could be some options here that I mean they are not pricing the risk here. Options are cheap here. Oh, another piece of information here. You know, there's a big difference between seller and last. You know, can you see how far these two numbers are? No, come on, brother. Look at where this low is. This low, value very high. Hold back, hold back. This low last. No. I think the long has the short was risky here. It has a good. It was I don't know. It was a risky. It was a risky here. The short. That I don't like the long. But that's what the market is doing, right? Momentum is to the upside. Notice how this is drying here. Has took this one and it's just dry. Let's see if the market pushes this. From this day, what the information I'm carrying here is that these prices, there was a rejection of the higher prices here. Something that I think can be in the mind of many traders here is this level here. You know how powerful are those 3 zeros on the right? You know, that's magic, right? 5,000. I have to go to 5,000. I have to make it. I think I don't know what's going to happen up there. I guess I had a feeling this market can't make it to 5,000. I haven't listened to MSNBC or lately. Let's see what they have. Because that also can give you an idea What the talk? Guy. This is the thing. There's a there's a lot of the market has put a lot of uh, trust, not trust, has priced a lot of rate cuts. I guess the first number I hear was eight rate cuts this year. Eight rate cuts. Now they're doing less than that. I guess that's in the news. That's what everybody's. The highlight is traders pair bets on March Fed rate cut after inflation data. They're not that confident now. Did you see how this market dry here? And then a push came after that. This dries and then a push came. I don't know, man. I don't know. I got a feeling today. I didn't feel that good. I was having too much biases today. Um, I just said I may not trade. I may not trade today. Of course, that happened before. And the first thing I do is I just find myself in a trade just after I say that. Please let me know if you have any comments, any questions. Do, 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 do. What I'm going to do, I'm going to end the feed on YouTube. I haven't made any, I haven't posted anything on Twitter this year. Almost 1 month has passed. Let's see what I do. How do I do that? Oh, I found this music very relaxing. Let me see. What is that? Is this the one? Wait. Where can I find it? Oh. Because there are some periods of time when I just don't do anything. But I am in front of the screen all the time. This is the one. Sometimes I had that in the background, and I completely forgot about that is there. That was the first sign that I like it. I will keep that thing because most of the time, regular music kind of just get me distracted. I can it removes my focus from the market, and I rather start to listen to music, right? But that kind of like in the background, sometimes you just don't I don't feel it. I stop. I just know it's there when my I use headphones when my ears are getting kind of like hot, right? All right, let's go to now. Let's go to where do we go? Where do we go? Live stream. Nah, it's too late to do it. Maybe next week. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Just keep it quiet. It has been a quiet market here. I guess I'm going to call it a day here. I mean, oh, you see that? You see what happened here? Those are stops being hit. Now, if there is something serious here, if there is something serious, market will come back here. We have a pullback, and then we'll come back to take those, to take this area. That kind of action, the market is right there, and then boom, those are stops. That's the only thing that's, and that happens all the time. There are that's one type of trading, right? That traders that have the power to buy, in this case buy, they can also sell. Just buy into that, push the market and just sell after, and they sell into the buy. The objective is just a couple ticks, a couple ticks. 1 point, 2 points is a lot. Because can you imagine how much power this participant needs to have to move the market from here up to here? Just a couple points. 28, 29, 30. And they just sell into that movement. They have these stops hit, and they sell into the cover right there. And that was it. And that's it. That's the trade. You never know when that's going to happen. So trying to trade or take advantage of that. And most traders get just very emotional, right? The market now has break a iceberg, or has break a Titanic or whatever. This is going higher. What can be? It can't be just what. It can't be just that. That kind of trading. It happens all the time. All the time. All right. Unless there's any question, I guess I'm going to call it a day. I wish you guys a good rest of trading day and a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, my friends. See you next week. Bye bye.